In this video we'll be going over mods to make exploring in Skyrim feel fresh again. To start off, let's redefine the way we move around Skyrim. We're all familiar with the classic fast travel system, and as useful as it may be, it also dilutes the exploration experience by making it a little too easy to get from point A to point B. So let's begin by swapping out the system with something more involved and interesting, starting with Town Portal. This mod introduces a new mechanic, namely a new spell, that can be used to transport your character back to the last town or city you visited. The spell comes in two forms, a Town Portal scroll or an expert level conjuration spell that you can learn. For the less magically inclined, the scrolls can be found sold by magic vendors like court mages throughout Skyrim. Once you've got your hands on the scroll or have mastered the spell, you can simply cast the Town Portal and a mystical doorway will appear, leading directly back to your last visited settlement. The real magic happens when you step through. You'll find that a corresponding return portal has appeared in the town or city you've just arrived in. So if you want to return to your original location, just step back through the return portal and you'll be right back where you started. Now let's move on to overhauling the vehicles of Skyrim, with the Carriage and Ferry Overhaul. This mod introduces a lot of improvements, giving these transport systems a much needed revamp to further aid your exploratory endeavours. Starting with the ferries, they now operate along the north coast, Solstheim, Lake Lanalta and Lake Honrich, expanding their availability significantly. And with the Hearthfire DLC, you even have the option to build a jetty and hire a ferryman at Lakeview Manor and Winstead Manor. And once you purchase Honeyside and Riften, there'll also be a ferryman waiting outside. The key difference with the ferries is that they're slightly cheaper than carriages, but only limit you to destinations along the same waterway.
Where are you headed?
Carriages too received a major upgrade. They've now been added to Falkreath, Morthal and Dawnstar, broadening their coverage across Skyrim. What's more, they no longer all have the same brown horses. Now different carriages boast different breeds for a touch of visual diversity. But the real boon of this overhaul is in its navigation system. Carriages can now take you to any settlement, with the cost based on the length and danger of the journey. Instead of only being able to select the major towns of each hold, you can now select the smaller settlements. And the Hearthfire homes have even been included, providing you've actually built it. Carriages and ferries are a great way to travel across Skyrim, but it doesn't do much for travel outside the major roads. So now let's move on to improving our new main mode of transport with Horse Whistle Key Lite. This mod introduces some extremely useful features that make our interactions with horses more intuitive. Firstly, the mod assigns a key, which defaults to H but is customizable to your preference, that lets you call your horse. Press it and your steed will come trotting over, ready to carry you to your next journey. If your horse isn't within sight, the mod ensures your horse will be discreetly summoned behind you, keeping the immersion intact. But it's not just a horse summoning tool, the mod also provides easy access to your horse's inventory. Simply point at your horse and you'll be able to access its inventory with a press of the H key. Even better, you can even access this inventory when riding to quickly stash away or retrieve items during your travels. The mod also offers a nifty little feature when you're sneaking too. When crouched, using the H key while pointing at your horse allows you to rename it, giving you another layer of customization to help you bond with your in-game companion. Now that we've got our travel options sorted, we'll first turn to a trio of mods from Schlitzohr that add character to the game by introducing more unique and small settlements in the lesser travelled areas of Skyrim. We'll first look at Laintar Dale. This mod introduces a small yet feature-rich village to the northern reaches of Skyrim, which can be found near Ingle Barrow. Complete with an inn, blacksmith, general goods store and an apothecary, Laintar Dale provides everything an adventurer could need during their travels. Next we have Greymoor, which is located just north of Fort Greymoor. This little hamlet offers a touch of civilization on the rugged road north. It houses an inn for a well-deserved rest and a general goods store for supplies. But what makes Greymoor stand out are the two local quests it adds to your adventure, as well as a breadcrumb quest originating from Whiterun, providing even more reason to visit this new location. And lastly, we'll look at New Weynon. Nestled next to Lorius Farm, this village not only offers basic amenities such as an inn, alchemist and blacksmith, but also spices up your gameplay with 3 small quests to embark on. In essence, Schlitzohr's settlement mods offer new points of interest and breathe life into areas you wouldn't normally visit, to give you more reasons to set foot in every corner of Skyrim. Moving forward, let's dive into our next mod, Dungeons Revisited. As the name suggests, this mod revitalizes the game's dungeon exploration by injecting fresh new content in some of the most well-trodden areas. The premise is simple yet incredibly effective. Dungeons Revisited adds new paths, rooms and foes to an array of the dungeons across Skyrim. The dungeons that have been enhanced thus far include Bleakfall's Barrow, Ustengrav, as well as Embershard Mine, Steepfall Barrow, Halted Stream Camp, White River Watch, Hilgrun's Tomb, and Broken Fang Cave. But it doesn't merely tweak these areas. In most cases, the dungeons have been expanded to double their original size, or even more. Despite these significant expansions, the mod maintains a deep respect for the lore and aesthetic of Skyrim. Everything added conforms to the theme and ambience of the original dungeons, resulting in a seamless blend of the old and new. The aim here is to ensure that the mod's content is indistinguishable from the vanilla game, preserving the immersion while enriching the exploration. And for our next mod, we have Master of the Summit, which tackles one of the more immersion-breaking aspects of Skyrim, the somewhat unnatural way of traversing the mountains, by either incessant jumping or using your gravity-defying horse. While this mod introduces multiple pathways along the Rocky Mountains, granting you access to new, previously unreachable locations. These paths also offer new routes to existing destinations, adding a fresh dimension to your travels. The real charm here is the mod's reimagining of navigation. The mountains are no longer mere set pieces or impassable obstacles. With Master of the Summit, they become interactive parts of the game world. You can now directly traverse over these grand landforms instead of just taking the long route round. In summary, Master of the Summit allows you to interact with the world's terrain in a far more realistic and engaging way. As we journey further into enhancing our Skyrim exploration, we'll now look at Daedric Shrines by Mandragora Sprouts. What Daedric Shrines does is twofold. Firstly, it overhauls the existing Daedric Shrines, giving them a fresher and improved look. And secondly, it introduces entirely new shrines to the game, making it so that all 16 Daedric princes have shrines dispersed throughout Skyrim. A few of these new shrines include a Shrine of Sheogorath for Unknown Solitude, a Shrine of Hircine, nestled within the woodland confines of Falkreath, and if Forbidden Knowledge is what you seek, you can find a shrine dedicated to Hermaeus Mora near his devotee Septimus Cygnus' remote outpost. And in the eerie Swamps of Morthal, a shrine to Mephala can be found. Continuing on our journey of discovery, let's delve into the realm of solitude and survival with the next mod on our list, Hidden Hideouts of Skyrim by Lessie123. Created with the practical needs of a traveller in mind, this mod brings to Skyrim small camps and caves hidden in the wilderness, providing sanctuaries for rest, storage, and even some useful amenities. As the name suggests, Hidden Hideouts of Skyrim features hideouts, reminiscent of the layers you'd expect a hunter, survivalist, hermit, or even criminal to inhabit during their travels across Skyrim. The locations were chosen carefully, far enough from towns to give you a sense of isolation, yet close enough to the main roads when civilization calls. The entrances are subtly hidden, and in total, the mod introduces 21 of these new hideouts. The mod offers 3 different versions tailored to your playstyle. The standard version includes safe storage containers, a fire with a cooking pot, and a sleeping area in every hideout. Additional things like tanning racks, grindstones, and workbenches, as well as alchemy and enchanting tables, are only included when they naturally fit the setting. The no map marker version is similar to the standard but lacks map markers, adding a layer of challenge as these hideouts are trickier to locate. The deep immersion version presents a raw and realistic take on these hideouts, capturing their state when your character first stumbles upon them. With no map markers and certain availability of camping equipment and storage, and possible occupants in the hideouts, this version is perfect for those of you who crave unpredictability and deep immersion. With Hideouts of Skyrim, every expedition carries the potential of discovering a new safe haven, enriching your exploration and survival experience in the wild landscapes. Our next mod on the list is Northern Roads. I've actually covered this mod before in an older video, but it fits so well in this list I just couldn't ignore it. This remarkable mod completely reimagines Skyrim's roadways. Northern Roads does away with the vanilla roads and replaces them with more varied types based on your location. You'll find dirt paths meandering through the villages and wilderness, stone roads near major cities, and snow or mud trails in the chillier regions. But this mod is not just about the paths under your feet, it introduces a wealth of new assets, such as unique bridges, wooden totems, and runestones, each contributing to making the roads more interesting. A noteworthy highlight of Northern Roads is the emphasis it puts on Nordic culture and symbolism. The mod beautifully represents the divide between the older eastern holds of Skyrim and the newer western Skyrim in terms of cultural influences. The eastern regions exude a Scandinavian and Viking charm, while the western areas draw from more Celtic and Slavic aesthetics. In terms of technicalities, Northern Roads offers new landscape textures, and it does away with the road meshes, instead opting for completely flat roads. A change that's not only visually appealing, but also comes with a slight performance boost. Well, that's all the mods I have today. Thanks for watching, like the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to endorse the mod you enjoy using.